This is Minh An, a Vietnamese boy with a rare and terrible skin condition.
There has been a theory that humans have evolved from fish, and this next example might be evidence that that is true. Pan Jin Young was born with an extremely rare disease called ichthyosis, making his skin very sensitive and painful. The effects of the disease altered his eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and soon his entire body. There is no cure for his condition, but cold water and some creams do alleviate the pain. Suryanti Arianto and her husband were devastated when she gave birth to her fifth child and saw her for the first time. The woman did not have any ultrasounds, so she didn't anticipate what they saw. To their horror, they saw that their daughter was born with numerous deformities. For starters, she was very small, weighing in at only 5 pounds. But the most obvious thing was that she had one eye in the center of her forehead. Known as the cyclops baby from the internet, the newborn infant also didn't have a nose. You can't even imagine how distraught her parents were. She was immediately put into the intensive care unit, but sadly, she passed away later that night.
You ready for tea?
Joseph Merrick got his nickname Elephant Man because he was a star in a freak show. He was born in 1862 and looked completely normal until a few years into his life where he showed signs of deformities. The very first symptoms of his body changing were that his lips started to swell. On top of this, his skin began to become very abnormal. There were dozens of weird bumps and lumps that began to grow all over his body. Because of his lips, he had difficulty talking, and soon after, a very bony lump formed on his forehead, making him even more disformed. To make matters worse, only his right arm and feet grew at an insanely fast rate compared to the rest of him. This made working a regular job nearly impossible, so he had to become part of the freak show. At first glance, this child looks like he's wearing a mask, but in reality, he was born with a rare deformity. Hui Kang of China was born with a transverse facial cleft, and because of this, it looks like he has 2 faces. His mother was absolutely devastated when she first saw her child, because in every ultrasound prior to birth, it appeared the baby was absolutely normal. Once the media got hold of this news, Hui Kang's story blew up, and the public raised over $40,000 for plastic surgery. The surgery was completed, but he won't know if it's effective until he's fully grown up. After all, bone growth is completed. Hopefully, Hui Kang makes a full recovery and can live a normal life with society. Did you think it was just a mask at first look?
There's a man in the Philippines with an extraordinary and undiagnosed condition.
Rudy Santos made a ton of money in freak shows because of his rare condition called craniopagus parasiticus, or parasitic twin. He was born with an extra leg and 2 arms that had shoulders and nipples. They were attached to his pelvis area and were completely dysfunctional. On top of this, he had an underdeveloped head growing near his sternum, and his right leg was severely deformed and unusable. Later in life, doctors informed him that it was possible to remove his extra appendage. Rudy explained that he actually grew fond of them and didn't want to have the surgery. What would you have done if you had spent your entire life like that and were given an opportunity to fix it?
Hope you liked our video. Share this information with your loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.